Hi and welcome to NetClarity. We'd like to take you through a brief overview and a demo of our product and talk to you about why we are the world's only plug-and-play network access control solutions on the market today. So a bit about the company. First, we're located just outside Boston, Massachusetts. We sell security appliances worldwide. We've got thousands of them deployed at the moment and billions of dollars protected by NetClarity. And we're making a pretty bold claim that we provide the world's only plug-and-play network access control solutions. And we want to talk to you more about why that's the case. What we'd like to show you is first what we believe is the old paradigm that evolved around user security. And then what's happening today with the BYOD trend and the growing device-centric security risks that are present, and then walk you through a brief solution demo. So in the beginning, we had trusted company-owned devices. You may recognize the picture on the left, some of these old cell phones that were out there, but not just cell phones, but laptops, printers, etc. were trusted, company-owned. They were managed and secured by the company. And as a result, compared to today, you really had minimal device security threats. And what emerged out of those circumstances was a model that required IT to validate the user. I mean, really the only variable in the equation, if you trusted your devices, were who were the users using your trusted devices. And so you have authentication schemes like LDAP, Active Directory, and these login screens that you see here, security guards at the door, or key card access, and that sort of thing. All of these are centered around the user trust model and the need to validate the user. In fact, that same mindset you could see has even bled into wireless authentication today when you're entering your username and password or your pre-shared key to get access to the wireless network today. And this is the model that our security revolved around for quite some time. But it's unfortunately not enough for today, where we have device threats. These device threats essentially bypass the user trust model because you can have a trusted user bring an untrusted device into your network. So we have an explosion of mobile devices in the workplace today. We have hackers focusing on mid-sized companies, and one of the main ways that they are able to do this is through mobile malware. And this mobile malware will come onto these trusted devices in off hours, or when you're at home, you download an app off the App Store or wherever it may be that has malware in it, or a PDF file, or any other source. Then you bring it in the next day, you walk right past the firewall with your mobile device in your hand, and now you've essentially brought the threat on the inside. So what we have today are trusted users connecting untrusted devices or threats to your network right now. And so it's really no surprise that this statistic emerges where, this was just this past year, 51% of business networks, this was in the UK, were breached due to employees using personal devices. And so what you need to effectively manage this is to eliminate the device threats. That is, you need to prevent untrusted devices from attaching to your network. And those devices include personal devices as well as ones that you control and own that you believe are no longer trusted, wired and wireless, any operating system, any device with an IP address. You need something to manage that. You need a network access control solution that covers all of them. And that's what we're providing to you today, is what we call the world's only plug-and-play network access control solution. And we've chosen that for a reason. The core technology that we use really sets us apart. We're going to talk to you more about that in a minute. But we've departed from the traditional thinking of how a NAC should operate, and we've given you immediate visibility and control over your network with that technology. In addition to that core access control technology, we give you the ability to identify network holes, common vulnerabilities, and exposures, similar to what a hacker would do had they been able to gain network access, you can see that information and proactively remediate against it. We also provide some protection against malware as well. The devices that you see on the left scale from 25 devices that they can protect in your organization up to thousands of devices per appliance that you see here. And the handheld version that you see is particularly useful for when there are many remote sites that need to be protected that are relatively small. So how do we protect your network? Well, it's actually very simple, and if it weren't simple, we wouldn't really be plug and play. So the step one is that you build your trust list. You can do this by an automatic discovery as soon as you plug the box into your network, and that can be done with our active scan as well as passive detection that's turned on afterward, or you can import a CSV file that has all the MAC addresses that you already recognize as trusted, part of your network. Step two, after you have your trust list, is to enable blocking on the appliance. And it's very simple. Any device that appears on the network that is not on the trust list is deemed untrusted and immediately blocked. And we block the device by sending a low bandwidth stream of blocking traffic. We snowblind it, and it is not able to communicate with any of the devices on your network. And optionally, we provide some smart switch integration, we call it, which enables you to interact with switches directly to reassign physical ports to quarantine VLANs. And so this unique 100% agentless and integrationless design is shown here. You can plug the NetClarity appliance into the edge of your network without any integration with switches. When a device appears on your network, immediately we detect it based on the broadcast traffic that it emits, and then within milliseconds we stream low bandwidth blocking traffic toward that device that renders it useless. It is unable to communicate with any of the devices on your network, and this all happens within milliseconds. And it's this unique blocking technology that enables us to be truly agentless, 100%, and does not require integration with your switches, routers, authentication servers, or anything else that would be otherwise a large headache and a big undertaking. And I think in many of the heterogeneous networks today, you'd be hard-pressed to find a solution that would interface with everything correctly. Not to mention some of the other solutions out there that do NAC by integration. When they shut down a switch port, you shut down everything connected to it, whereas this low bandwidth blocking technology will single out a single IP device, and it could be next to 10 other devices, and it will be the only one affected. So of course it's very important to continually update our appliance, and so we do this from the cloud. There's four major updates that occur. First is to our asset fingerprinting service, so you have the ability to see different devices that appear on your on the appliance, the different operating systems that they have, etc. Of course, the appliance itself, we upgrade the software on that periodically with new features. Malware callback sites and vulnerability signatures are also updated. And here's how we stack up against the competition. As we mentioned before, we're completely agentless, 100%. We don't have any dissolvable agents or any kind of agents on this because they're not needed. And very simple to manage, orders of magnitude easier to deploy than other solutions out there. Literally, you can plug it in under your desk, or the way most people do it is if they have multiple VLANs they want to protect, they'll plug those right into the appliance, and that's it. It's very, very simple. And it's for this reason that I think we've been successful in receiving many awards over the years. Being called the most innovative NAC vendor in the world, for example, by Network Products Guide and some other complimentary things as well. Here's some examples of some customers that we have in different verticals: financial, retail, education, religious, government, healthcare, manufacturing, etc. So this concludes the slide portion of our webinar here. We'll just move right into the demo, but the main takeaways we'd like you to have are that today we have a growing device security problem, and this is driven through BYOD and other things. And it causes organizations to need control over their network at a device layer. They may have control on the user side, they need control on the device side to manage what devices connect and what ones do not. And so therefore, a plug-and-play NAC solution, which can be deployed in minutes and is easy to maintain, is a very strong solution, particularly for the mid-market who is just beginning to face these problems today. So let's move on to the demo portion, and I'll pull up the appliance here, and we'll probably have to log in again. We have, for compliance reasons, we force it to timeout. I have two boxes running, one that I'll use to demonstrate blocking, and the other that I'll use to show you some of the other features. So this is the appliance that's sitting on my desk right now. It's literally plugged into the port that all of my other equipment here in my office is plugged into from the wall. I've got a switch attached and whatever that's unmanaged, and the appliance is plugged right into that. So nothing too fancy there. It's just as if you were adding another IP phone or whatever into your office. And the first thing you would do if the box had been factory reset was you would do an asset discovery. In fact, I just did this the other day. And it would go through and it would enumerate all of the devices on your network, generating a list that looks something like this. And the first time you run it, it'll produce a list that is full of several white-colored entries indicating that the devices are trusted. And over time, and as you enable the passive sniffing mode, other entries may appear, like these yellow ones that you can see here. And these are entries that were not on the original trust list. And these are entries that could be suspect. They could be hackers. They could be employees that just brought in their personal devices. In any case, they're not approved by you. And while you have already received an alert on it because it's in yellow, and that's what happens when an untrusted device comes online, you get an email or a syslog or an SNMP alert. The next thing that you can do here is to determine if you want to change the blocking policy to automatically block devices like this. And that's what we're going to do here. You could have this set up already, but I obviously didn't want to have it block at the beginning of the demo. I wanted to take you through it here. So right now, the mode is here. It's detect assets alert, do not block with EasyNAC blocking. We're going to change that mode to the second mode, which is to do all of the alerting and then also block with EasyNAC blocking. That's our plug-and-play blocking technology that sends a low bandwidth stream of blocking traffic toward the device. And you notice there are multiple devices on this network that I'm connected to that I only want to block a certain device that I want to for this demo, and that's that .17 device. The other devices could be things that the engineers put on this network today, and I don't want to block those. So what we'll do before we hit the save button is pull up a command prompt window and just verify that we can communicate with this device before we start the blocking engine. We're going to save these settings, and then we're going to wait for the blocking engine to get started here. Once it gets started, it's within milliseconds that the blocking traffic is sent, and the appliance, or not the appliance, the untrusted device is unable to communicate with anything on the network. And as you can see, that's what's going on right now. It's being blocked. Our pings from my laptop to this other device, which is in some other room, This all, this isn't me unplugging the cable under my desk. This is on the other side of the office. We're sending from the appliance that's on my desk, we're sending low bandwidth blocking traffic toward that device right now, and it's unable to communicate back with my laptop. So if we go back onto the Manage Assets screen, we should be able to see this. There's been a color change here. Now this .17 device is in red. And if you want to, if you, you know, you've also received an alert that something's been blocked. We also give you the ability, while it's being blocked, to do a more deep dive. You can analyze that asset to determine what ports are open and learn a bit more about that machine that's connecting to your network. So in any case, that takes a few minutes to run. So let's move over and talk about some of the other features on the appliance. And one of these is the malware detection system. So you just saw the blocking engine and how powerful that is. Just think of what you can then do with the ability to block any device on your network if you were to arm it with more information, such as if malware was detected, malware traffic was detected coming from one of the devices on your network, then you might want to decide that, based on that evidence, that device that was at one point trusted on your network shouldn't be trusted anymore, because trusted devices shouldn't have malware on them. If that's how you view what your policy should be, then I recommend you check this box here, untrust assets upon malcon detection. And malcon detection is what we're doing here is we're detecting the outbound malware traffic. It's destined toward command and control sites specifically. And we do this on port 80. We do a deep packet inspection of the outbound malware traffic. Now, of course, this particular feature we couldn't do from under my desk, because you would have to have a copy of the outbound traffic from either a span port or a mirror port sent to the appliance. And we have a special interface on the appliance that we designate for that purpose. And so for this feature, you would need to move the appliance into the IT closet or something, so you could get that traffic from a core switch or something like that. But in any case, it's a very quick way to stop malware in its tracks. And we update the lists, as I mentioned earlier in the presentation, multiple times a day, so that we have an accurate representation of what the malware sites are out there. And if zero-day malware hits, you can contain that threat a lot quicker than someone out there that doesn't have this feature. So that's the malware detection. And if you think about a layered defense, if a hacker is able to get access, and they have, say, a trusted device, and then they're able to enumerate vulnerabilities and exploit those vulnerabilities and install malware on a host, then this provides a good layer of protection against that. Now, we also provide another layer of security, which is, as I mentioned, what a hacker might do if they had access to the network is enumerate the vulnerabilities. Well, we actually have a mode where the appliance can do that for you before the hacker does. So if you go here to the auditing feature, you can perform one-click audits, or you can do more comprehensive management of audits, and you can schedule these tests to occur. The appliance actually began its life as a vulnerability auditor, so we have fairly robust auditing capabilities here. And you can schedule either full audits or differential audits to run. The difference between the two, I'll just pull up a report to show you. If we were to load a differential report, so I loaded the wrong report here. So if we move down to the differential report here, you'll just see what this looks like. The executive summary will contain not just a report of what your current status is in terms of vulnerabilities on your network, serious, high, medium, low, but also contains the difference between what you have now and what you had the last time you ran the audit. And this can be particularly useful when you're dealing with auditors and they want to see that you've been taking the steps necessary to secure your network and do best practices and your due diligence, etc. This can be a very useful feature here. But beyond that, it's really helpful in helping you remediate the holes that exist on your IP devices, on your network, these common vulnerabilities and exposures that are out there. We synchronize with the National Vulnerability Database in order to understand what these are. And this may seem like a lot of work to many network administrators, so we've provided a workflow management feature to help you manage that and assign vulnerabilities to different resources in your organizations. The last thing that I'd like to share with you in terms of security features is really this basic policy builder. This is just a quick add-on that smaller organizations really reap the benefits of, and that is we provide several policies here that you can edit and tailor to your organization, and we actually have a wizard that will walk you through that process. All of the appliances that are not enterprise appliances, or the appliances that are enterprise appliances, have the ability to manage other branch appliances beneath them. So as you can see here in the command center, remote operations, you'll have turning up here the status of appliances that are remote. And you can drill down into each one of these just as if it were your own appliance and manage it remotely. And these management sessions are all done via SSL tunnels back to the command center. So, of course, we've got many other features in the appliance. We've covered most of the main ones. We've got a robust logging system and syslog output that occurs. But we've covered mostly everything that I wanted to talk about in the webinar, and I hope that above all, we've demonstrated to you how easy it is to have network access control brought to your network, and just how simple it is to deploy, and what some of the additional layers of defense that this appliance can bring to your network. So, in summary, that's what we wanted to show you, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us, and we'd be happy to respond. Thanks so much, and have a great day.